Hello, hello, hello. Hello, my Coney Island baby. Hello, my ragtime, yeah. Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing splendidly. I hope you're doing okay. And none of you are contracting deadly flesh-eating diseases. Oh, it's been a while. How are you all doing? It's so good to see you / talk to you again in this very non-back and forth one-way medium of podcast. I guess I could do them live and take calls, or just like live stream and actually talk to people. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, shall we? Quite a few people have been asking, "Oh, Ewan, where's the podcasts? When are you doing another podcast?" Which is very nice to have, because I don't always know if what I'm doing is actually something people give a shit about. So it's good to know that at least like 2 or 3 people on the planet do. Obviously, I've been meaning to do more podcasts for a while, more recently and such. But this one I wanted to get out of the way, just to give you all a sort of an idea of where I'm at in my life and such right now, where I'm at, what I'm doing, how things are going. So it probably won't be a long one, just a little chat between friends, Oh, Ewan, how you doing? Well, let me tell you, and then I'll be on my way. And if you've got anything you wanted to talk to me about, tough shit, I'm gone. Like the wind, I'm out of there, bitch. Feel free to email me or something, I guess. I don't know. If you really, really need to talk, you should call someone better suited to talking about those sorts of things than me, because I don't know if I'm the guy. Oh, I'm thinking about killing myself. Well, it's probably a good option, to be honest. I mean, the world's certainly not getting any better, so maybe opting out is the best course of action. Ewan, that's not how you're supposed to help people. Oh, I don't know. I'm not a qualified psychologist. I'm doodling some mummified hands I saw a picture of, in case you were interested in that. I think the drawings are part of what people come for, other than my sparkling personality, of course. My winning charm and charisma that everyone loves so much. Okay, so where am I in my life? Not in a good place, to say the least. Let's go with that. Obviously, I'm doodling now. This is literally just... I had the actual hands roughly sketched out ages ago, but I, just come back to them. As I do with many sketches, I just come back to them now and again to doodle a bit more here and there, because I've really not been drawing much at all. I'm not feeling art much these days, very sadly, which is difficult, because it's something I've spent the best part of my 30 years of life doing, and it's getting to the point of it's not that it's not worth it, but like, the drive is a hard thing to keep going, especially when, as I was going to get into, when you send out your portfolio again and again and again trying to get work through your art, and it's just met with rejection after rejection after rejection. And I can take some fucking rejection, don't get me wrong, but when it happens so often, so consistently, it's a little bit disheartening, Like, I try to keep up a brave front, but it's it's a hard one. So that's where I'm kind of at, is that no one's paying for my art, so you know, it's sort of, why bother? I can't remember when the last podcast I made was, so I don't know if the whole Instagram deletion thing has been mentioned in any of them. But since my Instagram was deleted and I was about to hit 70,000 followers, I've lost a large chunk of my audience, which I could, you know, my community, which were also sort of like customers I could sell things to. So that's gone. And then no one, but fucking no one, is accepting my portfolio, which is, you know, bothersome. You can say, oh well, then just keep art for your own thing, but you know, it's just, with all of that, you get like a lack of inspiration. You don't feel like doing it. Like, what's it all for? That kind of thing, you know. So yeah, I doodle now and again and try to pop something funny on Instagram sometimes, but it's really hard to keep it all going, you know. Yeah. And there's that. I mean, I've obviously, as I've mentioned many a time, I have the whole depression thing, which has just not been good lately at all. You know, aside from all of the garbage response to my art and everything, I've just not been happy with things. But then, you know, I'm in a job that's literally going nowhere. They've almost literally told me, like, sat me down in the office at work and basically said, this job of yours, it's not really going to take you anywhere, so, you know, keep at it, but just know that there isn't really room for growth in this old job of yours. Yeah, you know, I look for other jobs, and I seem to always have the worst fucking luck with jobs. Like, I apply and apply and apply, and without a single interview in, you know, ever. Like, when I got this job that I have currently in retail, I was so glad, because it was finally, after so long, got a job. Okay, cool, I'm safe for this, I've got work. And, you know, that sort of sucks up the rest of your life if you're not careful. But now trying to get out of that, it's just, I apply, I switch up my CV here, there, as well as I can, and just nothing. No interviews, no callbacks, no nothing. So I'm stuck in my job, and if anyone's listening from my job, I love it. It's great. I can't wait to go back after this little bit of time off I've been blessed with. I've got a couple of weeks off, is what that is. There is, of course, the worry that potential employers search me on the internet and find the shit I do online and go, ew, no, none of that, thanks. Which is a shame, and I'm aware that sort of stuff does happen. People do use Facebook and such as like a quick sort of reference sheet of people they might employ, just to see, you know, what's up with them, what they're about. And I don't know, because obviously I'm not on Facebook, and I don't know how easily searchable my full name is through social media and whatnot. So I don't know if they find my Instagram and the nudes and stuff I do. I don't know if they see my YouTube, which I'll get onto in a bit, and see the even worse shit I'm doing on there. And if that is the case, that they are looking on there and deciding against me, then that's my tough luck. I guess I could clean my act up and fly right and get a better job and then continue, but yeah. So I've got my YouTube channel going. That's something. I've been making videos somewhat regularly, which is more like where I'm not really feeling the art these days. Making videos it's, you know, it's something I've always wanted to do, like just make funny videos. I have ideas for them, but I never really get round to it because usually because I'm just drawing. I've always got that I'm focusing on. But now that I'm doing that a bit less, I've got the videos as a separate creative outlet. So even if I'm not drawing, I'm doing something. So I'm not just sat around, because I feel really uncomfortable if that's the case. If I'm just sat around doing naught, you know, I would prefer to be creating in some way or another. Obviously, take time for yourself and whatnot, but you know, I want to do stuff. So I have ideas for videos, and I make some of them. And it's cool. I'm buying props. I'm like somewhat writing scripts-ish for parts of them. I'm trying to involve other people. I'm getting people I know who make music involved in creating music for videos, and me creating videos for their music. I had a friend have me read some of his poems that he's putting together in a book, in a video. That's quite cool. Nice, fun little thing to do. And you know, it's in my head that YouTube is a possible revenue stream. Like, it's possible to make an income from YouTube, but I'm trying to not get ahead of myself and think, oh, I hope one day I can have 100,000 subscribers and start making money from video. I don't expect that to happen. I'm aware it does happen for some people. It's possible, but I'm not, you know, like I say, I'm not getting ahead of myself. For now, I'm just making videos that I want to make because they're funny. And of course, the content is all awful, just the usual vile Ewan content. So even if I get that kind of following, I don't really see advertisers wanting to get involved in my garbage YouTube channel. But it's, you know, like I say, it's a bit of fun at the moment. And when feeling as I am most days, that's about all I can hope for, isn't it? So, not killed myself just yet. You know, there's time. Don't worry, folks. Stick around. Could happen. But, yeah. That's about the sum of it. So, art's not working. No one wants to pay me for art. Like, I can do commissions now and again. You know, if and when I've had paid artwork jobs, they're cool, but they don't happen nearly often enough that I can make decent money from them. So art is now just this thing that's like, oh, I'm quite good at drawing, I guess. But that's about it, you know. It's not going anywhere. It's not doing anything for me. And, you know, some people do say, well, you know, switch up what you're drawing. Like, try, you know, work digitally or do this, do that. But it's like, at that point, I may as well just be working at McDonald's. Like, I'm still going to be doing things I don't want to do, whether it's drawing or not. Like, just because I'm drawing for a living, I'm not going to be happy about it if I'm not drawing what I want to be drawing, because then it's like, it's almost worse because it turns drawing into this awful thing that I don't want to be doing. So I'd rather not even bother, I think. Like, drawing for a living's cool, but if you're drawing, you know, just stuff you have no interest in, and every drawing you do, you sit down and go, oh, okay, let's fucking get this thing done, then, like, what's the point, you know? Money, obviously, but I do have a full-time job, so I don't really have to worry about money. I just have to now worry about my sanity and general mental well-being. Mental well-being. My apologies for the slurred speech. It's late at the night at the moment that I'm recording this. Yeah, so art's not working. I can't seem to get another job. There's nowhere to go in my current job, so it's just a daily in and out work and keep working, which, you know, I'm glad I'm able to pay my bills, my rent. I have a roof over my head and at least some kind of food in the fridge, even if it's really awful food that's bad for me. It's still food, at least. So I am glad for that, but, you know, at what cost? Like I say, I've never been a happy fellow, and, you know, it would certainly seem I'm not going to be anytime soon. Yeah. But the YouTube's fun. If you're not on it, if you're not about that, feel free to look up my YouTube. What the fuck am I saying? This is a YouTube video. Ugh. I was about to be like, well, you can look up my name on YouTube and then find my videos. This is one of my YouTube... Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Christ. Well, you know, shit could be worse. This is about the state I'm in. Just that on a daily basis, you know. No motivation. Just whatever. So I'm trying, but it's just... What's it doing? What's it all for? I just need something to click, you know. I need one celebrity to happen upon my artwork and be like, wow, this guy's really good. I'm going to buy a piece of his work and tell everyone that he's great. Or I need, you know, a YouTuber, a popular YouTuber to stumble upon my videos and like them and go, hey, I found this weird English guy and his videos are somewhat entertaining. Maybe you other people would like to check him out. But, you know, even when I try and get shit like that going, like I try to, my usual way of doing it is draw a portrait of a person, send it to them, like a, you know, a famous person or a, you know, a person with more followers or whatever, send them the picture and they go, oh wow, this is amazing, and they put it on their page and they shout me out, and you know, oh, and that's the fucking thing. So I have a while ago an artist I really admire messaged me almost out of the blue to say he'd love to do an art trade, so that's been on the docket as something I can do. And a couple of very well-known suicide girls, like alt girl, you know, nude models, have sent me, you know, nude photos of themselves so I can draw. That obviously they'd post on their Instagram pages, and you know, I could potentially gain a lot more followers, and then even maybe more paid work from that if other suicide girls are into, you know, having their portraits drawn or anything. But it's the motivation, and I look at like I've done rough outlines of these drawings for the art trade, for these drawings of models, and I look at the roughs and I just think about how much work it is to turn it into a finished piece that I want to be the best piece I can do, because it's going to these people I admire, these people of some like import, and I just cannot pull myself up to do it. Even though I know I'm a good artist, like I can draw and I can make these drawings look sick and they'll be brilliant, everyone will be blown away. But then I just think, oh shit, like there's so much work, and it's not even that much work, but in my head, I don't know. I guess that's why they call it a mental illness. Whatever. It's all just, you know, white people problems, I guess. It doesn't minimise the fact that it is a problem I'm dealing with. But yeah, so I've got a couple of weeks off of work, so I'm trying to sort my place out. It needs tidying, cleaning. Try and do that. Try and get a little bit of drawing done. Make some videos. Just, you know, not fuss about anything. Just relax, do some shit, and then go back to my, you know, dead end day job. Maybe. I mean, if I don't, you know, end it all before, and I'm kidding, folks. Let's not phone anyone just yet. So I'm not in a brilliant place at the moment. But like I say, I've got this podcast being recorded now. I'll try and do others and whatever, I don't know. Also, I guess if you're listening to this, you're on my Patreon, and thank you if you're still around on there, because, I mean, if you stuck around, then all I can say is thank you. I'm really going to try and sort out some kind of, rewards for my Patreon soon. Hopefully, maybe in this 2 weeks I've got off, because, I've not uploaded anything there at all lately, and obviously not been having the best time, but it would be good to have something for the people who've continued to show love and support for me and what I do. Should we look through my sketchbook? Oh, that'll be fun. This is my current sketchbook. Again, I can't remember what you have and haven't seen from my later podcasts, because I'm not about to look through all of them or watch all of them, just to see what has and hasn't been said or shown. This is my current sketchbook, a nice chunky square block of a sketchbook. A sticker from a French friend there, along with that one of a cunt. It's nice. I like it. It's good. First few pages I usually keep empty, because I want to have something really impressive on the first few pages, and the first thing you draw in a sketchbook is never impressive. That's a law, that is, a law of physics or something. So I leave those empty and then go back to them when I have better ideas. Oh, too many maybe. But there we got a Hulk. I guess that's not a bad opening drawing, is it? A Hulk figurine laying down with a whatever. Some Punisher drawings. I was practicing veins and arteries from Da Vinci's anatomical drawings. Bunch of doodles and shit. This is usually just me sat at work with a pen in my hand, sort of almost just automatically drawing whatever comes into my head, just to pass the time on my lunch breaks and such. This is more of, I don't know what the fuck, a Ninja Turtle, I guess, but whatever. This is a gal named Daphne, I think. Daphne, yes, from Greece, I believe. She's nice. We are Instagram friends. Some more doodles and shit. BoJack Horseman, all relatable. Sir Da Vinci. Me, I guess, having just killed a girl with a hammer. But there's some controversy now, where this used to be a loose self-portrait, but in general, really just a drawing of person is all it is. But now, of course, I've got this beard going on, you may have seen around, and people seem to be upset that I'm not adding it onto the drawing of myself. But like I say, it's not strictly a drawing of myself, it's just a representation of person at the time or whatever. Some Galactus doodles. I was practicing him for the Spider-Man comic I was going to be doing, but again, too sad to pick up a pen. So Galactus and Silver Surfer doodles, a Da Vinci horse. I don't even know, a bunch of shit. Oh, tits. That's a girl called Molly. Put her on blast. Some shit. Some more shit. Again, sat down on my lunch break, just filling a page. Something to do to pass the time. I think this is, I had an idea for using these weird sorts of buffalo-esque creatures in my Gun Viking comic, which again, another thing I may or may not get around to finishing. More Spider-Mans. I posted those on Instagram at some point, if you saw that, I don't know. Some shit. That's funny, a redraw of an old comic. Some alligator thing. Little doodles for comic strip pieces. Other comic strip pieces. Eating cereal with a snail. Snails are cute. They're fun to draw. Oh, and that's the look how fat I am then and now. Oh, look how fat I am. That's a monkey eating a rat from a photo. That was quite a fun photo. That's laying next to a dead person. That was a fun little drawing. Fat girl sitting on my face. Skulls and doodles and things. Or doodles and skulls and things. Hitting a girl in the head with a hammer. there's that, and that again, very typical lunchtime doodle sort of thing. Gun Viking, he's cool, he's a fun chap. It's a cat. That's one of my tricks, is you draw a shape to fill the space and then go, oh, I guess I'll make it a cat, and it fits in nicely around everything. Whatever. Me with a huge penis that, you know, I do have, obviously. That's Becca. Hello, Becca, if you're watching. That's a vagina and anus. That's me taking out the rubbish. That's a future Ewan drawing I may or may not work on in the future. Oh, that was my recent Instagram upload. Having drawn a big boob butt lady sitting with my pants off looking at her. And a comic about peeing in my mouth. Spawn, guy, pregnant lady. That's... Oh Christ, I don't even know her real name. I'll have to ask her. I've known her under like a couple of pseudonyms, but not her real name. She sent me pregnant nude photos to draw. I was very grateful for that, because pregnant models are wonderful and I'd like to draw more of them. If you're pregnant, please send me pictures of your naked body. And mummified hands. That's my current sketchbook. And that's where we're currently at, I suppose. That's about the sum of it. I don't know if there's much more to say, really. Yeah, nothing's working. Everything's awful. The end. I don't know, like I say, I'm going to focus on my videos, so I will. I think that's something I was going to bring up with my videos. Please let me know if you're into them, if you like them, because my Patreon obviously was very art themed and will continue to be as much as I can bring myself to keep creating art. I thought maybe, you know, I'd upload like behind the scenes videos or like outtakes and stuff. Like I'll edit together outtake videos of videos I make. Not that there will be many, because I mostly get stuff right every time. I don't know if you're into that, because again, if you follow for the art, that might be what you actually want to see. So I will continue to try and keep that going, but let me know if you're if you like the videos, if you're into seeing them, if you want to see extra bits as a patron. And of course I did have the thought of, if I do get anywhere with YouTube, if it does grow at all, which, you know, I've got just over 1,100 subscribers, and I've only really just started actually doing shit with it, so that's not bad. You know, I'm very, very grateful to every single one of those people for subscribing, because that's quite cool. I get mostly positive comments and stuff on the videos, so that's good. I guess people are liking them. Where the fuck was I going with that? Shit, I had a point, but I guess it wasn't that relevant. I've literally completely forgotten what I was going to say. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying here, folks. I'm trying. Not everything's going according to plan, but I'm trying. Oh yeah, that's. I had an idea for a series of podcasts about things rather than just me sat drawing. Okay, I'll let you in on this since you're here, whatever. So it was going to be a series of Ewan Sucks, obviously the podcast, but Ewan Sucks, the name of an artist. So the first one would be my favourite artist, Glenn Fabry. So it would be Ewan Sucks Glenn Fabry, like I'm sucking him off, because it's literally going to be me sort of showing off my favourite artists. Like I'll show a bunch of books they've done, like shit they've had published, what they work on, their type of work, and then within that video sort of create a piece of artwork based on their artwork, either a copy of one of their pieces, a tribute to, or take a few notes from their artwork to create, you know, a new piece of artwork, which I thought would be quite cool. Because sometimes just sitting drawing, like that's all I wanted it to be originally, was just sit, hang out, talk, draw, whatever. But you know, everything has to grow and change at some point, doesn't it? Otherwise, it's boring to make, it's boring to watch, it's boring for everyone involved. Well, not boring, but you know, it gets tiresome, it gets old, doesn't it? So I thought that could be quite a good little way to switch things up a little bit. So I could have ewansucks, Glenn Fabry, obviously Simon Bisley would be a very obvious one. Ashley Wood is one of my all-time favourite artists. I go into more sort of niche artists, more well-known artists. I could even, you know, talk about artists I dislike. That would work. So it'd be ewansucks, but this artist sucks more, maybe. I don't know. Working title, let's go with that, eh? So yeah, ideas for things, but again, no real guarantee that any of them will happen. But I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying. And again, I've got about 1,000 different artistic projects I would like to work on, but whether or not that happens remains to be seen. Gun Viking, I'd love to do more Gun Viking. I've got a couple of ideas for like standalone comics, like a little, maybe a couple of little like 40-50 page like little comics, maybe even less than that, maybe 20-30 pages. But we'll just have to see how, where and when it goes. And of course all of these projects are all just projects I would like to do. They're not projects that would get me money in any way. So I think that's what I'll just have to do with the art for now, is, you know, just do it. And if people want it, cool, but don't expect it. And of course the paintings book, you know, I'm so glad to have had that out just at the end of 2018. So I had a book made in 2018. As I had, I think the previous years it was the paintings book in 2018. I think it went before that the Ballpoint book, then Gun Viking issue 2, and then Gun Viking issue 1. So each of those years I had a thing, you know, I had put out. So I was very glad to have that done. And I sold a lot of copies of the paintings book already. And, you know, again, just blown away that people have, you know, been interested in it enough to buy it, which is very, very cool. And again, I may have mentioned this already. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I had another book planned, but you know, owing to, you know, Instagram's killing me off, that didn't happen because I couldn't guarantee sales since I didn't have an audience anymore, really. So we'll have to see if 2019 has a published thing from Ewan. It would be cool to do one of my standalone comics, 20-30 pages or so. Just something small, I guess. 20-30, well, Gun Viking's 20 pages per issue, so I guess I'd want it to be a bit more substantial than one issue of comics. So maybe, yeah, 40-50 pages would be quite cool. And I think Ballpoint is about all I can manage at the moment. I don't know if I've got it in me to start getting my paints out and doing all of that for the comics, which I would prefer to do, but we'll see how it goes. But, you know, a whole comic done in Ballpoint could be quite a nice little thing to see if it's done well. Oh, I don't know. I'll end this now. This is about as long as I had intended this podcast to be. Again, just a quick one, just to let you know how things are going, what's going on in my life. Yeah, shit could be better, but I guess we'll see. Again, cheers for sticking around, and well, let's just see how things go.